Okay, so this would be part 8, I believe, as we are going through the different tactics that these individuals will utilize against targets and victims. So we've covered several of them, and now it's really going to get into the down and dirty of what these people will do when the gig is up. Okay, so they're going to do these things in order to look like the victim and make sure that all of the true victims are the perpetrators and the ones at fault, the ones to blame. So before I get into that, I do want to say this. Something that they will do is called hovering. Okay, I touched on this when I was giving my story about dealing with Tabitha. But hovering is when they'll try to suck you back in after you've gotten out, or even after they've discarded you. Okay, so the discard phase is what I just talked about. They're done with you, like they're bored with you, you've already been conquested, so they're looking for another supply source, another conquest, and so they're just done with you. But the goal of hovering is to use any means necessary to get you back under their control. So if you are in a friendship with somebody like this and they've discarded you, then whenever they deem it necessary or think that they could get something else out of you, they will hover and they will try whatever they can to suck you back in and get them back into the web so that they can control you. Okay? If you are in a romantic relationship with them or a marital relationship with somebody like this, even after they've discarded you because they've moved on to somebody else, the moment they feel like you've been set free, let's say you are ready to finally finalize the paperwork and, divorce them. You've already been through the love bombing phase. You've been their narcissistic supply. They have devalued you. They have discarded you. And you finally feel freedom to be done with it. Okay? You've got to move on, leave them in the past. When they realize that, they are going to start the process all over, starting with the love bombing. Okay? They're going to come back to you. They're going to try to say, I am so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't in my right mind. I can't believe what I've done. You must forgive me. Please forgive me. You've got to take me back. I'll never do it again. I promise I've changed. And, we can make this work. I need you again. I need you in my life again. I want what we had again. Okay? So that starts the love bombing all over again. It starts the cycle all over again. And then, the person is left feeling like they're either at the point where they're like, not this time. This has happened too many times. I'm done. I'm moving on. I wish you no ill will, but it's time for us to go our separate ways. I'm called to peace. Or they're going to be reeled right back in, okay? Reeled right back in. Because their world has been turned absolutely upside down. They just want everything back to normal. That's what they want. I just want everything back to normal. I want my family back to normal. I can't do this without them, I just... And so the narcissist Jezebel is coming back, telling them these things that they want to hear, and it's like, look at this miracle. It's a miracle. So, all right, they've hovered, and like a vacuum, they've sucked you back in. They've reeled you back in. And then it's going to be like kind of like a honeymoon period where it's like, you know, they're getting their supply from you again. It's like, woo, honeymoon, yay, we're back together, isn't this great? And it's all until they get tired of you again. They get tired of being around you again. They don't want you. They don't want to be around you. And then you go through the devalue and the disc all over again. So, okay, if they have not truly been delivered from this, then you're being used again. If they've been able to suck you back in, and this will continue to happen, unfortunately, over and over and over again. So at some point, you got to make the decision, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not a victim. Okay, I'm going to be a victor, and I'm done. All right? I wish you no ill will, but I'm done. I'm done. So then you're called to peace. Especially if there has been, you know, the infidelity over and over and over again. But only you can make that decision, okay? So the hovering, I just want you back, okay? I need you back. I want you back. And if you're not in the frame of mind to say, no, I'm not falling for it this time, I'm sorry, I'm done, then this will be successful, hugely successful, because they've already had you under demonic mind control for however long. You know, they already know which buttons to push. They already know what to say to you. So it's going to be real hard for you to say no. Okay, so you gotta be ready for that. So if they have ingratiated themselves back in, let's say then you're going to then try to go to counseling or whatever, and you're going to try to talk to them about what all has just gone down, okay? Something that they will use at this point is blame shifting. Blame shifting is when you blame another one for your own wrongdoing. They will use this technique to shift the blame onto you, onto another person, to keep that person feeling crazy, and they need to defend themselves at the narcissist Jezebel's mercy. When they do this, it causes the victim, again, to worship the narcissist with all of their heart and soul, separating them from God. It just continues and continues. Okay, that is the demonic mind control. So if they are able to shift the blame onto you and say, well, I would have never cheated on you if you weren't so controlling, or I wouldn't have done X, Y, Z. I wouldn't have lied to you, you know, if I wasn't so afraid of you and I was worried about your reaction. It's blame shifting, and it for the targeted individual, when you're in that web and you're under that control and that manipulation, you are going to start believing that, especially if they've said it to you over and over and over. You know, if a lie is repeated enough, then people believe it's no longer a lie, it's a truth. So if you're hearing that constantly, the blame has been shifted back onto you, then you're going to start believing that, okay? And you're going to be asking yourself, well, you know, what did I do? You know, what is wrong with me? And how did I not measure up? And, you know, how did they lose faith in me and trust in me? That is, unfortunately, the victim's mentality when they are under the control of one of these individuals. Something they will also do during this time is called gaslighting. That's a form of psychological manipulation in which a person seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or in members of a targeted group, making them question their own memory, perception, and sanity. So if something had gone down and you can recall it and you want to talk about it, they will say things like, that never happened, or I don't know how you remember it. I don't know how you would remember that. And, I never said that. I never did that. And so, the targeted individual is going to sit there questioning, well, did I remember that correctly? Did I get this wrong? Did it happen that way? Gosh, something must be wrong with me. I'm going crazy here. I thought this was it, but I guess it's not. So that's gaslighting. That's psychological manipulation. Okay? They're going to make it seem like it never happened or didn't happen the way you remember it. Or the blame shifting. They're going to, if they don't deny they did something, they're going to come up with an excuse as to why they did it. So, I was unfaithful because you were so controlling. Okay? And it forced me to look outside of the marriage for somebody else that wasn't going to be so controlling. I mean, there's so many excuses that they could give. So, gaslighting, blame shifting.